So for the last episode of the 2023 season of STV, I wanted to do something different, so I got 3 young folks on with me here to help co-host this last show. But before we get too deep into it, I want to talk to Gavin, Danny, and Kevin kind of about what makes them tick as snowmobilers. Let's say you guys, by looking around here, you're snowmobile fans, right?
Oh yeah, hardcore.
So what's your favorite sled that you have in your group here, and how many sleds do you have in your group?
Oh, my favorite one is the one you're sitting on. I built that when I was 12 years old out of that shed over there, and been riding it ever since.
And this is a 72?
335 single cylinder.
Are you guys partial to any particular brand? Because I do see we've got Yamahas here, we've got Scuz-Z here, we've got Polaris here. Just kind of anything with a track and a motor, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm a Scuz-Z fan.
I love my Polaris.
Yeah, and you've got a pretty spicy one. So talk to me about that sled.
It's a 2020 Polaris XCR 850. It's been an amazing snowmobile.
That'll definitely get the job done.
Oh yeah.
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 Now, Danny, you've got your own sled too.
My 1981 Citation 4500.
Why do you like that thing?
It's great on the trails, great on gas. It's my favorite.
It's also pretty easy to handle and everything too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. I'm kind of partial to Citations. That was actually my first sled when I was a youngster, a little bit younger than you are, but that was the first time I ever rode a snowmobile, like kind of off in the backyard on my own, was on an old Citation. So how many sleds do you guys have?
Oh.
Runners. Let's start with runners. We should qualify that.
Well, we got 4, 8, 9.
More around here too. Probably around 12 runners and probably 25 all in total.
Now, of the, so it's about 50-50, I see that ratio there. When you say projects, what kind of state are those projects in? Because I've seen projects of, I got a project in the backyard and it's literally like a track and a couple of skis.
Well, that's how some of them are. We got an old 73 Ski-Doo Olympic that we're gonna disassemble the whole thing, paint the body, do the motor in it, put a new hood on it, new track. And then we got some up on the hill over there that we're gonna put a belly pan on, get it running and drive it.
So new stuff, old stuff, what's your favorite? Because you do have a bit of a mix here.
I prefer the older stuff.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's nothing like it.
If I'm going out for lunch and having fun, I'll hop on the old stuff. But if I'm going for a 6-hour-long day, then yeah, I'll hop on my 09 and be gone.
Pretty cool. Now, I want to ask, it doesn't matter if you're into the old snowmobiles or new snowmobiles or what type of snowmobiling you're into, whether it's flatland stuff like we have here in the east or, mountain climbing out in the west. Yeah. Snowmobiling is all about fun. So I want to ask you that. What do you find the most fun about snowmobiling?
Getting the young people into it. And
wait a second here. You can't say young people. You are a young man.
Well, seeing everyone smile, especially when you're driving by on an old snowmobile and you're getting people wave and thumbs up. There's nothing like that.
Just hanging out with friends and family and having fun, lots of smiles.
It's a great way to be out in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We have a couple friends that have vintage snowmobiles, and we contact each other all the time. Go up and usually Halburton Forest and go for a ride up there.
Yeah, we're really close to the rail trail, so we can just hop on it and go out for a ride.
What happens if they break down?
Yeah, I really like working on them. With the Polaris, I haven't really had to do anything to it yet. But yeah, the Walker Evans that are in it, the suspension's so awesome. So even if the rail trail's bad, it just takes it so good. Yeah. Yeah.
And Kevin, what about you?
It sounds a little crazy, but I'm probably going to say getting lost because you
Yeah.
can go out, find new trails, you can explore scenery, new places.
Oh yeah.
We've been in a few of those situations.
Yeah, getting lost is fun.
Yeah.
Talking to three of you definitely kind of reminds me of why I like snowmobiling, and when I'm thinking back to when I first started snowmobiling when I was less than 10 years old myself when I started, and just going out and having fun, whether it's out on an old sled or a new sled, and getting out and be able to go with friends and family, and just snowmobiling is such a great wintertime experience.
Yeah,
it's awesome to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Snowmobiler Television. And today we were testing out the 2023 Polaris XTR and the A50 Boost. How do you think this is going to perform today?
Well, I think they're going to perform really good, just maybe not for Jeff because he brought Scuzzy and it doesn't run. So we got to go help him with that. Hey, you got it running yet?
Hey guys, you guys doing my job out there?
Yeah.
It's so much easier.
Yeah, I gotta take your place.
Yeah, you guys need to do that more often. So the Scuzzy is the sled that never fails to fail, right?
Right.
And it's not running right now. But one of the problems I have is the recoil only goes out about that far.
Okay.
So it's absolutely impossible to get going. So the trick is I take the spark plugs out and I take my secret spray,
Oh, yeah.
squirt down each one of the spark plugs hole, put the spark plugs back in, and it fires up just fine. I've already got the air box out because that is something you're gonna need on the second part of the solution for the problems of this, which is my fuel pickup. I've got the parts, but if you guys can help me with that, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
Sounds great.
So
Sounds good.
first we'll get it fired up to make sure it actually does run.
Okay.
Not quite sure if it does. If one of you guys want to go out there, because we'll get you to pull on the ripcord when we get this back together, and then we'll be good.
Sounds
All right.
good.
I'll give her a yank.
All right. That should be enough. So usually we only have to do this 2 or 3 or 4 times, and it goes. It's running. Okay, here we go. Let's see what happens.
Oh yeah.
This thing is glorious. Glorious, I tell you. I shut it off before it dies from something else. So we'll go get my stuff and we'll start the repair.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Is this something I'm doing or are you doing?
Well, we can do it both. How about that? Teamwork.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Do that. Okay. All right, so here's what I got. Parts and my complete toolkit, which is a Leatherman.
Perfect.
But that should be enough to do what we need to do. So this is what happens to rubber when it does that whole thing with
Unleaded fuel.
ethanol blended fuels. And
Yeah.
just for, there's a hole in this too. Like, look at that crack there.
Oh, wow.
Like that's, so I think what was happening with this thing is it was giving me issues where it felt like it was misfiring,
Okay.
but I don't think it was a misfire. I don't think it was in the clutches, although I found problems with both of those. I think the biggest problem was it was getting air in the fuel.
Through
So
the
the fuel
line.
pump was pulling air in,
Yeah.
and the carbs were just basically running out of gas.
Yeah.
This works. Have you
Oh, yeah?
seen this?
No.
No?
Oh, it numbs up the plastic?
Yeah, when the plastic is a little bit too small and cold,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
just chew on it for a bit.
I just heat it up.
The better time to do it is when it's full of fuel, though.
Oh,
Makes it
yeah. It looks just seamed. Are you putting that filter on it too?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
I think that filter is going to be not
Yeah.
just good, but good enough.
All right.
That's a T-Cat over there. All the good stuff is here today. So I think I gotta try to get. Wait a second, you guys are supposed to be doing this.
Oh, yeah.
So I think this is now fixed, except for that. Let's fire it up.
Let's see if it sucks fuel and see if we
See
have a
if
leak.
See how bad it sucks? There might be enough fuel in there to get it to go. Ready?
Yep.
Look at that. Oh yeah, we're in business. Scuzzy's gonna live another day. Now, any bets on how long it's gonna go before it breaks again?
Oh, all day.
Fingers crossed.
You are way too new if you think this thing is gonna go all day. There's no way this thing is gonna go all day. Put it this way, I'm leaving here with a tow strap in the trunk of this thing. I have no faith.
I have lots
No
of faith.
All right, so this happened a little quicker than I thought it was. Got out here, the sled was running sort of okay. We were just checking a little misfire, found a problem with a spark plug, went to fire it back up, and this happened. And I mean, when this is off, there's just like nothing you can do about it. So I think at this point, we're just gonna tow this thing back. We've got one more Polaris back at the trailer, and we're gonna come out on a fleet of Polarises. I think I'm gonna take the belt off. That definitely happened quicker than I thought it was. I thought we were gonna go farther than like a kilometer. Base camp's right there. Like, it's right there. If you gotta tow your sled like the Scuzzy here, which happens more often than not, take your belt off the secondary so it can roll and not drive the belt over the primary clutch. Because what can happen when that does, when that's going, is it'll actually wear a hole in your primary clutch. Plus, it puts a lot more rolling resistance into the chassis. So this should roll back like butter now.
I definitely called it. The Scuz is the sled that never fails to fail, which of course it did again, but it failed even faster than I thought it would this time. Now, before you start in on me, I know I could have probably gotten the old Scuz running again with a strap around the primary, but honestly, a little bit of my soul left my body when the ripcord came off in my hand, and I just didn't have any cares left to give. So we towed it back to base.
And we're moving. Yeah, the Scuz is a disappointment all around. Right now, I mean, the inviter is working so good. I didn't bring it. I didn't bring it because I thought, you know what? The Scuzzy deserves to come out. Everybody's been asking me about the Scuzzy. What's going on with this Scuzzy? And I've been, you know, kind of ripping around the backyard a little bit, fixing stuff up. I thought, you know what? Do that tank thing, stop that fuel leak, and this thing would be good as gold. And you know, for the first kilometer, it was actually not bad. It was running pretty good, and then the recoil breaks. What are the chances of that? Well, yeah, you know what? I can't even say that. The chances are pretty good when you're on the Scuzzy. Bloody thing. Now we're getting towed. There's base camp up there.
Now, to rejuvenate my faith in snowmobiling, we pulled out Gavin's 2020 XCR along with STV's two 2023 Polaris fleet sleds, a V1R boost, and another XCR to ride the trails of Halliburton Forest. This was a much better decision than fighting with the Scuz because this is what snowmobiling is all about. As part of the deal with helping out on the show, both Kevin and Gavin had to rate their ride experience here at the forest on the Polaris sleds. Although I think by judging by the smiles on their faces, they enjoyed themselves.
It was great. They're so smooth, lots of power, rode beautiful.
Oh yeah, and yours did a pretty good job of hauling Scuzzy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it got it back. Now, you guys do have a Polaris sled in the family, so you're running a 2020 XCR.
Yeah.
Now, how does the new stuff compare to that? What do you think about that?
Well, I think the handling is a little bit better just because I haven't really fully set up the shocks on my 2020 yet.
Yeah.
And with the turbo, it's power's right there. I get more of a throttle response, and it's amazing.
Now, with the turbo, the boost, what did you think of that? I mean, you guys both had a chance to drive kind of both of them, and you were back on your own sled for a little while too. So how did that work?
It sounded way different.
Oh yeah.
From a normal 850, had a lot more kick to it, a lot more growl. I found XCR had like more of a, in the divots, it felt nicer, it was more smooth.
Yeah.
And it did steer a lot nicer.
Yeah, that XCR steered like it was on rails, but the boost, it can really take the whoops really good.
Yeah, and we did get a chance to go out on a lake where there is no whoops, and that's where the boost really kind of shined, because it left everybody in the dust.
It took off and it owned the lake.
Oh yeah.
Now, with compared to your sled, I mean, you've had a little bit of more time with it, more familiar. What do you think the new stuff is a step up, step sideways? What do you think there?
The boost is definitely a step up.
Yeah. Now, one of the sleds that we had for you guys, the Matrix, had the 7S display. You know, that's something that you guys don't have on the 2020. What did you think of that? Like, to be able to watch that thing go?
That was pretty cool. Yeah, you can see so much more, and everything's right there.
Yeah.
Instead of flipping through the modes, everything's right there.
Now, in kind of wrapping things up with your day, what was sort of your most memorable part of it, other than the Scuzzy breaking down again?
Definitely drifting that turbo around that corner. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was a new experience. Like, it's nothing that, it is somewhat like your sled, but it's totally different.
Oh yeah.
And getting it out, and it's an experience that not everyone else has.
No, exactly.
Yeah, from about the end of the tunnel forward, it's all different. Like the look of it, the motor's the same, but and it feels the same. Just it feels way more new too. Like it feels.
Well, it is like 3 years newer.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it feels lighter.
Any last words? If what's your plans now? You want to start saving up for a 2023 Polaris or a Matrix or V1R? Like, what are you thinking?
Well, if I was going to buy new, I think it would be an XCR 850.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I were to buy new, it'd be that turbo. Oh yeah.
Well, there you go. Your brothers, you each get one.
Yeah, that's right.
There we go. Well, thanks very much for helping, guys. It was an awesome day to be able to go out and watch you guys rip. And
Yeah,
have a good
thank you very
time.
much.
Yeah, thank you.
It was a lot of fun.
It was.
Oh yeah.
A lot of fun.
Yep.